today we are going to be making a team of the year so far. So we've got a starting 11 of a 4-4-2. So we've got the two centre backs, left back, left, right mid, right mid, and the two central midfielders and the two up front, and obviously the goalkeeper. I'm just going to quickly run through why I've picked them and why, just based on their stats this season so far. I think a lot of these players, some of them have been playing very well, and a lot of them have had a lot of criticism this season, because obviously it's not went as planned for some clubs, and it has been planned for other clubs. Right, so obviously we're going to start in goals. We're going to start with Seagrass from Dundee United. I mean, if you just watch the two top teams in Scotland, Rangers and Celtic, and that's it, I mean, that's not really how to watch Scottish football. You watch all the games. If you watch this man at Dundee United, he's outstanding. I mean, he was linked with Celtic in the summer, and obviously we didn't sign him. We picked up Barkas. Dundee United are 6th in the league now. They've only just come up as well, so I would expect him to progress on a bit more. They're playing very good football now. Obviously, midweek they didn't have a good day, 5-1 against St Mirren. But obviously St Mirren were just dominating that game, and it was very good performance. But anyway, Dundee United have had a good season. He's kept 7 clean sheets for Dundee United as well in 23 games, which is quite, I wouldn't say that's a bad record. I'd say that's quite a decent record for a goalie at his standards. He's made about 79 saves this season so far, which I think is the highest in the league. I think he's playing quite well at Dundee United. I think the way the centre halves in that are positioned at Dundee United isn't as good as what it would be if you were at a top club like Rangers, Aberdeen, your Celtic and your Hibs. Dundee defence seems to be a bit more organised, but at Dundee United it doesn't look to be organised, because sometimes they lose scrappy goals. I mean, I remember Celtic playing them at Tannadice way back at the start of the season, couple of weeks in, and we didn't score at the 90th minute, and that was down to sloppy defending and not clearing the ball, or they would have picked the point up. But I think Seagrass kept him in that game as well. But he's made 79 saves in 23 games, so he's always tested in the game. He's 27 goals conceded, which isn't that bad, I would say, for 23 games. 27 goals conceded now, so he kind of keeps his scores down to a minimum level of scoring as well, keeps him in games and that as well. I think this season he will continue to be a good goalie, and I think he will leave Dundee United at the end of the season and go and sign on for a bigger club, if that's maybe in Scotland or somewhere else. Obviously at Hammond with St Mirren, with Vladimir Halki, or whatever his name is, can't remember. I'm sure that was his name. He was an outstanding goalie, and now he's away down south playing for Salford. I think that will happen with Seagrass as well, but I think he'll maybe go to a better team than Salford. We'll start with the right back. Obviously, I mean, there is only one choice for right back this season, and it's Tavernier, because I mean he's first in the league. He's got 11 goals, 9 assists, 50 shots out of all the games he's played this season, 22 shots on target. I think he's had a good season. He's been good at attacking and that. I think he just needs to maybe work on his defending, and that'll be it. But otherwise, he's been good for Rangers this season. I think that he will continue to get assists and goals and that as well. I mean, I know he's missed his last 2 penalties, but that never means anything in football. A penalty's a penalty. If you miss it, you miss it. If you miss it again, you miss it. If it goes on and on and on, yeah, maybe you might need to change your penalty taker, but I don't think that will happen. I think he's had a good enough season to stay there. I think Rangers have had a good enough season to stay where they are as well. But I think Tavernier's been probably one of the best players this season, but he does it all the time, free kicks and penalties and that. But this season he's got the assists as well to prove people he can do the attacking style, because last season people were just saying he was a penalty person and a free kick person, which personally I still think he is. But this season he's shown a bit more attacking. But I think he needs to maybe work on a bit of defending. I'm not saying he's bad at defending. I think he's a solid defender as well. but he's not as solid as what most right back would be. I'm not saying that anybody else right back in Scotland is a solid defender as well. Obviously, Frimpong at Celtic, but obviously he's left now. He's away to Bayer Leverkusen. Obviously, nobody expected him to leave, but now that big money came in, and I mean, we signed him for 300 grand, and now he's away for 11.5 million. That's a big profit. But I would have never said that he would have made it this season. He didn't do what he was doing last season, attacking the same as what Tavernier's doing. I don't know if that's down to the coaching or down to whatever was going on behind the scenes, but Frimpong didn't attack enough for me. And the left hand side centre back is Connor Goldson. So obviously this season Goldson's had quite a good season, I would say. I mean, he's first in the league. He's got 4 goals, 1 assist. He's got 31 shots, 9 on target. He's played 26 games under Gerrard this season. I think he's been the most solid defender that Rangers have had this season. I'm sure he's played every game. I think that's outstanding. I think he's done well since coming up to Scotland. Obviously it takes players a wee bit to come into Scotland, but obviously he's been playing at a top level. But yeah, I think that's what's been going on at Rangers, and that this season's been working well, and that especially for the defenders, the amount of clean sheets they've kept as well. But obviously you would expect me to put the goalie in as well, but I don't see that happening as well. I don't think they've not been tested enough because of defensive, and that's been working very well. Anyway, the right centre half is Aya. I mean, this man is just he's a player. The way that he attacks as well. Obviously, he can slot in at right back for Celtic as well. The attacking style he plays is fantastic. His defending's fantastic. He's just been him and Julian at centre half have been good so far, but obviously Julian's not had it good this season, been injured most of the time. But I think Aya has been the outstanding centre half this season, as we've all seen, because we have had quite a lot of difficulties at centre half this season. But I think Celtic have got a good player there. I think he will leave, and he will leave for a bit for money. He's played. I think he's played about 20 games this season. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist. He brings all the attacking styles for a centre half you would need. I just think it's a shame that it's not went well this season for Celtic. We would have seen these players still thrive. Obviously last season we seen Aya was outstanding in that, and he showed that in his game. And Aya's been a good player ever since coming. Obviously when he came to Scotland, he went loan to Kilmarnock, we bring him back, now he's playing every week in, week out. He's probably one of our best players, probably is the best player at Celtic. Probably that is a bit of a statement to say, but I think Aya's been consistent, as where other centre halves we haven't been consistent. A left back, I've went for Borna Barisic. I mean, what can I say? The back line of Rangers this season has been it's been good football, and that they've kept the clean sheets and stuff like that as well. It's just, I think Aya needs to be in there, obviously, because he's been a good player, but I think Barisic needs to be in there as well, as he's played 23 games, he's got 1 goal, 5 assists, I think he's got 20 shots and 4 on target, and that's good. That's a good style of play from a centre half. I mean, it's quite difficult to talk about left backs, and that is some of them need to attack, some of them need to defend in Scotland. It's quite weird for the way that some players play. I would have maybe made my case for the likes of Laxo and Taylor and that, but they haven't done anything this season for me to even mention their name. I think, yeah, they've played quite well, but they've not done enough because they've been switching about. The right hand midfielder is Mohamed El Manousi, because I mean, this man has played 13 games this season, 7 goals, 2 assists. He's got 45 shots, 15 on target. I mean, that is outstanding from a player I mean, Lennon's not played him much this season, but every time he comes on the park, he shows what he can do. He brings the attacking style, and he brings why we've still got him in loan. He was fantastic last season, wee bit injuries last season, this season he's been brilliant, scoring the goals, getting a couple of assists, making the play, getting the shots away and stuff like that as well. That's what you want in a right hand midfielder. Obviously he plays in the left, but this season we've had that diamond in the midfield, so we've not really had any wingers. So when he comes in, he needs to play either up front or on the left or the right. So I think that needs to be taken into consideration. He's been playing out of position as well, and he's fitted right into that quite well. The centre mid needs to be one of them, David Turnbull. I mean, when we signed him from Motherwell, we knew that was going to happen because the season before, but he was injured. When we signed him from Motherwell, he didn't really get played, which was quite disappointing because you don't sign a player for £3 million to sit on the bench. But obviously Lennon brought him in too late for his. I think he should have started for day one. He's a good player. I mean, he's proved it. I mean, he's played about 20 games already this season. He's been playing well. He's got 5 goals, 2 assists. He's got 45 shots out of the 15 games he's played. It's a good attacking style for where he plays in the diamond. Obviously Celtic's midfield is now, that's them getting into the action. This midfield, the diamond, are working together. It'll be good to see what happens next season, as it's going to be a change. I think that Turnbull and that are good players, and I think that it will change. And another midfielder, I've got Hadji this season. I think he's been playing quite well. He's got 14 games he started this season, 3 goals and 9 assists. Obviously for a midfielder you want goals and assists, but more importantly assists to your striker. I think that's worked quite well. This season obviously he's still making plays. He's got 46 shots, 11 on target, and it's the way he moves the ball as well. He's been playing quite well by doing that. It's been a good season for Rangers obviously, but I think these players will start to shine out and will leave. I think Hadji is one of the players who came in, and obviously because his dad was a footballing legend, it was one of them where, is he going to be as good as he? You never know. Just like so let's say Peter Schmeichel and Kasper Schmeichel. Is Kasper Schmeichel going to be as good as what Peter Schmeichel is going to be? That's what you need to think. But obviously Scotland, it's different football for what other legends' sons are playing. I think he's done well. I think he's done himself proud. I think he'll go on to a bigger club and a better team than Rangers and in Scotland. But I think this season he's been playing very well. He's got the assists and he's proved that he can play, and obviously Gerrard trusted him and he's played. On the left hand side, I've went for Kent because I don't think Kent's an outstanding player. I think he's the player that fits in to what Rangers are trying to do. The high press, the fast play, they get the ball past and goal, the one touch football, the hold the ball, and then when they want to hold the ball up and they want to play football, I think Kent fits in everything like that. That is a good player, right? But I don't think he's been outstanding this season. I think he's done everything right, which is weird to say, not outstanding for doing everything right, but I know. But I think this season he's been played well. He's done everything right. I don't think he's put a foot wrong, but I wouldn't say he's been an amazing player at Rangers, because he came in and signed for quite a bit of money. Everybody expected him to be a very good player for that amount of money. But now, I think that he's settled in and now he's playing. This is how he plays. He plays at a high tempo. He plays at fast plays. That's it, where he gets all the strikers up. As if you look at Morelos, he's quite lazy sometimes. But when Kent's on and he's got the ball, he needs to make Morelos move and run, as that's what Gerrard wants for players to do that, like Kamar Roof now. Maybe get centre mids in, like Aribo in the box and stuff like that as well, so getting the team pushed up. I would say for my striker, one of them has to be, there'll be 2 strikers, and one of them is going to be Kamar Roof this season. Obviously he played at Leeds in the Championship and that, done well in that, but obviously coming at Rangers, not having much game time and not being really played much, and nobody had big expectations of him, but he's done himself well. He's got 10 goals in 16 games and 2 assists. He's got 33 shots and 16 on target in his time playing. I think that's quite a good stats. I think that's what you expect for a striker. Obviously he's probably the top man this season for them. I think he's played good. I think he'll continue up here and play well. I think it'll be interesting to see him for the rest of the season, see what he's got, see if, because it can always go 2 ways. It can go, oh, he doesn't score anymore in 5 games and then, or 2 games or 3 games, and then that's him. But I don't think that will happen, because it doesn't really, it rarely happens. But yeah, I think he'll go on and finish as maybe top goal scorer or something this season. Maybe that is a big statement to say, but maybe it will. Never know. The next striker it was quite a weird one at the start of the season. Obviously this man is signed from Dunfermline to Hibs. Nobody expected anything big off him, a couple of goals probably, maybe just under double figures and that at this time, maybe 8 goals, 7 goals. But no, he's played very well. He's played 23 games, he's got 11 goals, he's a joint top goal scorer. He's created 62 shots and 24 on target in 23 games. I think that's an outstanding stats to have. I think Hibs have got themselves a good player there. He's played well all season. I think he's going to thrive on and become maybe joint top goal scorer or top goal scorer, or maybe just finishing below the top goal scorer, because he's joint top goal scorer now with James Tavernier on 11 goals. But I think Hibs have got themselves a good player in there. I know Hibs' form hasn't been good the last couple of games, but he is one player to watch out for the rest of the season. And I think that is maybe, I think that's us for the team of the year, and that was my team of the year. I'm just going to run through it. In goals we had Sigris from Dundee United. At right back we had Tavernier. At centre half we had Aya and Conor Golson. At left back we had Borna Barisic. At left mid we had Elmanusi. At centre mid we had Turnbull and Hadji. Left mid we had Kent, and the 2 up front we had Roof and Nesbitt. I think that's a decent team. I think maybe some players I'm going to maybe name. I think Elmanusi will go back to Southampton, maybe get game time there or at a different club in the Premier League. I think Nesbitt will stay at Hibs. I think Sigris will leave. I think Aya will leave as well. I'm not sure about any other players. I don't, because you never know. I mean, Tavernier's about 30 or something. I don't think, maybe that's not right. I think he'll stay as the Rangers captain. I don't think anything will happen. I might have been wrong with the 30 thing. Just checking that. Yeah, well, he's actually 29, so I wasn't far off. I was only 1 year, so I don't think he'll leave anywhere. Aya, yeah, I think he'll leave. Golson, nah. Barisic, no. I don't think very many players will leave. I think maybe another centre half from Rangers will leave. Obviously they've signed somebody for Bournemouth the other day, but I think that's my team of the year, and I think this might, I hope to see the players all continue to play well. There could be a couple of changes at the end of the season, but that's all for now. Bye.